By 1963, prayer was taken out of our schools. Anybody remember that? Madeline Murray O'Hare. 1963 is when we saw a great rise in premarital sex for every single age group. Since 1963, we've seen a great rise in sexually transmitted diseases for kids 10 to 14 years of age. We've seen a great rise in unwed birth rates. That's a 100% increase in birth rates. There's been a 500% increase in pregnancies. The difference is being aborted. We'll cover that on video 4. Right now, 1/3 of all the kids born at the hospital are born to a couple that is not married.
Besides the fact that all these statistics are completely made up, we have to examine what was actually going on in 1963. Now, prayer was taken out of the schools in 1962, not 1963. And that's not much of a difference there, but that does matter a bit. Now, in 1963, we have a lot of anti-segregation movements, a lot of civil rights movements going on. And the Beatles came out. They were an inspiration to so many people. If these statistics are even half true, both those things have something to do with it.
SAT scores have plummeted since 1963. They finally had to dumb down the test in '95 to make the scores go back up, to make the kids look smarter.
And they never dumb down the test. All they do throughout the years is change the number of questions and the types of questions.
If you kissed a frog, it would turn to a prince. You say, no, frogs don't turn to princes. How many of you ladies got your husband by kissing a frog? Come on now, let me see. Only 2, okay. Doesn't happen very often. But in the textbooks it does. Yes, boys and girls, we started like an amoeba. And we slowly evolved to a frog. There he is, Grandpa. And then very slowly evolved to a prince. It's the same fairy tale. Frog turns to prince.
No, Kent, we did not come from frogs. Evolution does not say that. We came from something more like a crocodile with really smooth skin.
Here's a 4th grade textbook. Millions of years ago. Now kids, listen. If anybody ever says, millions of years ago, just say, excuse me, were you there? They'll say, well, no, of course I wasn't there. Then you can say, now, teacher, do you know the earth is millions of years old? I mean, is this really part of science? Is this something we can observe and study and test and demonstrate in the laboratory? Or is this just something people believe?
People know the world is billions of years old. We use a thing called carbon dating, which measures half-lives. And we use the mass of the carbon that's left in there.
And then you found a treasure chest full of gold coins. And I asked you the simple question, when did the boat sink? And you say, oh, I don't know. Well, look at the dates on the coins. See, if there's a coin in there from 1750, you ought to be able to figure out the boat sank after 1750. How many can figure this out with no help? Okay. It couldn't sink before that, right? You don't go poking around in the box and find the oldest coin. You find the youngest coin, and that becomes what is called the limiting factor. The boat could not be older than that. Couldn't have sunk before that. There are all kinds of ways to limit the age of the earth to less than billions of years.
Boat coins are not, they're nowhere near the age of Earth. We're trying to find when, with boat coins, we're trying to find when the boat sunk, and yes, it is after 1750, whatever you wrote there. But see, if we find something that's 6,000 years old, and that's the youngest thing we can find, it's not 6,000 years old. We can find something older than that to prove that the world is older. We're trying to get the biggest age, or the highest age, whatever. We're trying to get the oldest one. And then we can determine it has to be this or more.